And we have our nice little exponential curve here. Our first question is we're asked to fill in the table below. They give us the x values 0, 1, 2, 5, and 8. So your job, or my job as I did for you, was to go ahead and approximate the y values for each of these spots on the graph. So at 0, we have an initial amount of what looks to be 400. For 1 year after, it looks like it's about 500 in the middle between 4 and 6. For year 2, it's a little bit above the 600, so I just approximated at 625. For year 5, it's pretty much dead on at 1200, so that's what I wrote. And for year 8, it's just below the 2400 mark, so I just said 2350. If you want to use 2375, whatever, but if you want to get the exact calculation I got, you're going to want to use these numbers here. Of course, these are all predictions, so you really can't be too far off if you use something slightly different. So our first question is, use your calculator to find the exponential function of the best fit line. That means the regression line. So I went ahead and I did the same thing as I did before. I found the A and I found the B. And I'll go ahead and show you really quick how I did that in case you're not too sure. Don't save anything on here. List of spreadsheets, there's my X, there's my Y. The year numbers I have are 0, 1, 2, 5, and 8. And then I have all these numbers, 400, 500, 625. Then I get 1200 and 2350. Went ahead and did menu, 4, 1, A. X stuff goes in the X list, Y stuff goes in the Y list, okay. And there are my values. I'll zoom in so you can see how I got them. My A value was 400.47, as you should get also when you try this yourself. My B value was 1.24708. And for the sake of being super specific, I didn't round anything off in my equation. So I said A of t equals 400.47 times my B, which is 1.24708, to the x power. So using that equation, I went back to Scratchpad and I typed it in so I can get a table of values so I can answer the following questions. So I'll go to Scratchpad, I'm going to clean out my previous function with doc and then B. All right, so my equation is 400.47 parentheses 1.24708 raised to the x power. Enter. And yes, I'm aware we can't see the graph, but they're not asking us to read a graph at all anymore. So go ahead and just do Control T to get a table, and let's start answering some questions. Our first question, based on this table, is use the function to predict the number of coffee stores in the year 2000. All right, so if this graph begins at year 0, which is 1992, then the year 2000 would be 8 years after that. So when the time is equal to 8 on our table here, and I'll just scroll on down until I get x equal to 8 on the left side, and bam, 2342.74. So you can't have 0.74 of a store opening, which is why the question asks us to predict. So we would say we would expect back in the year 2000 that we had about 2,342 stores that were open. Next question, use the same function to predict the number of stores in the year 2009. Well, if we're already at year 8, and that's the year 2000, then 9 more years would take me to year 17, or x equal to 17. And here we get 17,091.2. But you cannot have 0.2 of a store. So we would have expected that back in 2009, we would have had about 17,091 stores in operation. So there, in a extremely long nutshell, is your notes for today. If you have any questions, feel free to see your teacher and ask us one-on-one. All right, good luck with this assignment, guys. Have a good day.